doing a collaboration video today with Socialworkscrapbook so that you can get to know me a little bit better and I can tell you more about what it's like to be a social worker.
Hi, and thanks for watching Social Work Scrapbook. If you're new to my channel, my name is Lauren. I'm a clinical social worker, and I know when I was first starting out, it was a struggle to kind of picture what life as a social worker would look like. So I decided to bring you a collection of videos called Social Work Sound Off. Here you get to listen in to real social workers share how they feel about the profession, and then self-disclose a little bit more in what I'm calling the lightning round. Today's video is featuring Ashley. If you have not checked out the social work presence over on Instagram, then you must. That's how I found her and her incredible page, Social Work Lifestyle.
Since I have been a social worker for 8 years, I went to the University of Central Florida for my bachelor's and my master's, graduated with my MSW in 2011. I am currently a licensed clinical social worker in the state of Florida. So I am currently employed by one of the local school districts as a district level school social worker. I have been there now for 2 years, so this is my second school year. And I currently have 3 different schools that I cover. I cover 2 elementary schools and 1 middle school in my district. So I could work anywhere from 7 to 2:30 to 9:30 to 4, just depending on what I've got going on. I definitely use a lot of crisis intervention skills. When students come in contact with me, it's because there's something going on with them, whether that be a family issue, an academic issue, or in the case of one of my schools that are for children that have emotional and behavioral disabilities, a lot of behavioral issues can be going on that I get involved with. I do some assessments for suicide and self-harm. I do a lot of work with families as far as educating them on mental health and providing that support. Oh, hi Odin. My dog is in here. So one of the craziest things that happened to me was I was doing a home visit with a single parent who had felony drug charges. He was on probation for drug trafficking. And while I was in his home on more than one occasion, he had people coming to the door and he was selling drugs. So needless to say, that child did eventually get sheltered and was in the care of someone else who could keep that baby safe. But that was definitely an interesting experience to be in the home while there were drug deals going on. Not something that I was excited about. My most challenging client population was at my last agency that I worked for, and the reason being is that a lot of the parents did not want my services, and they were basically told by CPS that if they didn't accept them, that their child would be taken from them. So that was a challenge. Substance abuse, domestic violence, child abuse, homelessness. So there was a lot going on, and it was always like a very stressful situation for the family. So that made that probably one of the most challenging experiences of my career. So the first thing that I do for self-care is I cut myself some slack, and I remind myself that there's only so much I can do. I can't change everything, and I can't do it all. And even though that doesn't sound like necessarily like a self-care tip, I think that cognitively, it's really important for me to be able to handle the stress from my job and to just not be so hard on myself all the time, because I do have a tendency to do that. The other things that I do for self-care are I like to hang out at home with my husband and my dogs and just chill. And I really enjoy reading and watching Netflix. I have to say my favorite book of all time is Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I'm a little bit of a nerd, and I just find that book and really the series to be hilarious, but super insightful also. But I'm currently reading The Boy Who Was Raised as a Dog. I'm reading that for a workbook study, and it is fantastic. I cannot recommend it enough if you're interested in learning more about trauma. And I'm also reading a book called When Breath Becomes Air for another book club that I'm in. And I just started that last night, so I'm not very far into it and don't know whether or not I'm gonna really like it yet. That I've been listening to the most is a podcast called My Favorite Murder. It is absolutely hilarious if you're into true crime and comedy, which seems like a really weird combination, but the 2 hosts, Georgia and Karen, definitely make it work. I have been obsessed with that podcast. They've got over 100 episodes and then like several shorter episodes on their podcast so far, and I've listened to all of them. I just can't wait for them to come out. And they definitely make me laugh after a stressful day. Long term, I would really love to take some more play therapy classes and maybe eventually go on to be a registered play therapist. I've always been interested in being a writer and writing books. I don't know if I would be any good at it, but that's definitely something that I would be interested in, or even a career in publishing. I've thought about that a lot. But I've wanted to be a social worker since I was 13 years old, so it's also kind of hard for me to imagine doing anything else. So thank you so much for watching. Let me see, I'm gonna try to answer these as fast as I can. Definitely on hold. And I would say attic, countryside, ooh, that's a tough one, amusement park, classroom, water's edge, bakery, definitely. Sounds so good right now. Singing, although you don't want to hear that from me, I'm a horrible singer. At sunset. And
Thanks so much to Ashley for answering all of my questions. Don't forget to check her out on Instagram at Social Work Lifestyle. And if you would like to be part of the Social Work Sound Off, please comment below or message me. I would love to feature you in this video collection. As always, I am wishing you social work success. Till next time.